Sometimes you wake up and you have a brilliant idea. Well, today is not one of them. I thought it'd be a great idea to form Arabia. And I was like, forming Arabia as Egypt? Ottomans? Too easy. How would we do it as Oman? I am an idiot. It took me over 20 hours for the first video coming back off of a huge hiatus. So I just spent like so much time just doing the same thing over and over again. I had 9 tries of doing this. You thought that was bad? My final attempt took me 6 hours and 22 minutes. 6 hours! I just wanted like a 1 hour game video to make. Yeah, so let's talk about the failures for a little bit. Yeah, we can talk about them. I don't want to, but we can. The first failure was the British Empire, and this one hurt the most. It was 6 hours into my first attempt, and I went to war with the British while being in the British market, so I went negative $75,000 a month, a year, a week, whatever it is, and I just ended up dying of the economy. It was too hard to bring back, and I had to scrap it. And you want to know what the worst thing about Oman is? I'll say it right now. They're racist. That's why. Not Oman in real life. I have no idea if you're racist. In the game, 100% racist. You got national supremacy and slavery. Ain't no one like you. Do you see how many people, loyals versus non-loyals versus radicals? Everyone hated me. Everyone. It was impossible to get anything done. And then the next 8 hours were a couple of attempts where I just failed really bad. This one I would like to highlight because god dang it, it is 1839 US, get out of the Middle East. God dang, America is like, yo, we're here. Why invading the Jed? Let's invade Oman. Why? Get out of here. If you want to hear how defeated I was in trying to make this, just listen to this intro to this like 8th attempt. Okay, we're trying to form the Arabian Empire from what I believe is the easiest nation to do that, which is Oman, but it doesn't look like it's been going very well, so we might have to switch it after this one. So I was literally dead inside. You want to know what's worse about this entire video, this entire thing? I didn't know you could form Arabia as Egypt. I thought I had to do it as Oman. I literally did this entire video not knowing until after I finished recording and I saw other people forming the nation with Egypt. I'm an idiot too. Double idiot. 2 idiots, 3 idiots, 4 idiots. Then we can talk about the final chapter. Me forming Arabia as Oman. Yes. I said early in the video that it took me 6 hours. I was wrong. It took me 8, but I don't feel like switching it early in the video. So yeah, pretty much my strategy was being friends with all the nations that surrounded me that were powerful, and then making rivals with all the tiny nations that didn't matter. The reason why I did that is so I could have a ton of diplomacy, because I was going to go to war a lot, and if I go to war a lot, I need to get my infamy decay down. Oh, Grave, is that why you lost to the US and all those different nations? Yeah, it is, because I went to war, and for some reason, you know, the big major powers like to get involved in every single war, even when they barely know that this place exists at this time. I know it's 1836, but I'm pretty sure the US didn't care about Oman in 1836, but, you know, for some reason, they did. However, that was the last thing. I finally got my borders to look pretty good. Oman looking pretty big. I pretty much have half the Arabian Peninsula by now. So we don't actually run into any problems in the first campaign, and we're able to eat up all these nations pretty much no problem. These are pretty much the most important wars right here in the Yemen territory, because Oman has like no population in the beginning, but over here there's actually population, and these people aren't super hating of you, unlike every other nation you'd ever conquer. So these people in Yemen are going to be very good. They're going to make a lot of stuff. Without them, the playthrough probably impossible. It might be a good time to mention that I got to war with Russia in like the first 20 years, and yeah, I'm obviously going to beat Russia because I'm Oman. I'm just kidding, they kicked my ass. I surrendered. So now I got to deal with this big Russian dot in my territory because they got a treaty port. Great. There's one thing Oman has that a lot of different nations don't have, and they have like colonial territories in India, I know it's not exactly India, and Africa, which allows you to get more territory off the bat without getting absolutely whaled. But remember, we have slavery, so everyone hates us still. But you know what time it is. It's gaming time. Because we're Oman, baby. We're looking good. There is nothing that can stop us at this moment. And it's true. Before you know it, the Ottomans were going to war with Egypt. And me, with my good old, like, you know, probably 10, 15 troops, I was like, it's my turn to get Hejaz back for Yemen. And so it's my time to do the war. I'm I'm just kidding. It goes crazy. World War III starts. Great Britain gets involved. France is in the war. Russia's in the war. Portugal's in the war. Egypt's going through a civil war. It just goes all out of control really fast. But I don't care. I'm still going into the war. There's about 4 wars going on for the Middle East. I'm going in for it. I don't care who's going to stop me. I'm getting Hijaz, and it's going to go... Oh, they pieced out. Okay, no war. So there's a little trick I like to do in Victoria 3, and that's join a custom union of a powerful nation, so then I get a whole bunch of resources that I usually want to get. So here, we join Portugal. If you remember, I did this in the first game with the British Empire, and it turned off really badly. So as long as we don't get kicked out of the custom union, we should be fine. At this point, I have a lot of territory that I need to form Arabia, but I'm a little bit more hungry for power and money, so it's time to vassalize some countries. I decided to choose Ethiopia because it was nearby, not a lot of people care about them, and it was a lot of good territory with a lot of people and resources. So I went ahead and vassalized a decent chunk of Ethiopia, and then I continued to do so for the next couple of years. I kind of just kept on going around the world trying to colonize stuff that no one cared about for the next 2 hours until eventually I realized I could form Yemen, which is great because as you can see there is fracturing Oman, and forming Yemen gets rid of fracturing Oman, which allows me to keep my colonies in Africa. So we're finally Yemen, and we're 4 out of 21 places I need to form Arabia. So we're doing pretty good 7 minutes into the video. But if I'm being honest, the next 2 hours, nothing really exciting happens. I kind of just do my Yemen thing, and Yemen. I just put Yemen and Oman together. That's pretty funny. I'll leave that in. And Yemen, we just kind of went ahead and just started conquering more stuff in Ethiopia, Africa, Indonesia, getting colonies to the point where we got a pretty good empire going up. And then it was time to finally go against Egypt. There's 2 reasons why this war with Egypt is pretty important, is because Egypt and the Ottomans are pretty much the last 2 nations I need to conquer to get the territory I need, and because Egypt and the Ottomans are grossly overpowered in the game compared to Oman. So, can we win these wars? Not really sure. I'm just kidding. I'm one of the best Victoria 3 players in the world. I'm certified. I won a tournament one time. I'm pretty good, Thank you, yeah. So Egypt take no chance, and then we eventually have to just wait to go after Egypt again, and then eventually the Ottomans. It was time for Royal Rumble 2, where I was going after Egypt again, but there was something that amazing that happened. Austria got involved in the war, and I was a unrecognized major power. And for those of you that don't know, to become a major power, you need to be recognized. So I finally got the war goal to be recognized by Austria. You're probably thinking to yourself right now, Grave, Austria's gonna kick your ass. You're Oman/Yemen. Well, I got something that they don't have. Not being in a civil war. Yes, Austria is in a civil war, so they will most likely capitulate right away, getting me a free recognition while probably conquering the rest of the territory in Egypt I need. Don't worry, it still won't be easy, because a certain Great Britain had to get involved for some godforsaken reason, and I had to go to war with the great GB. So I ended up beating Austria in Egypt, but I ended up surrendering to Great Britain, because otherwise I would just lose. And so they got some more reparations from me, and I had to suffer the consequences with being super in debt because of that. There is now only one nation that's stopping from me from being the end. Also, I puppeted Egypt, and that's the Ottoman Empire. I need to kill the Ottoman Empire, and then I win the game. And it was a doozy of a war. It was me, Persia, Russia against Ottomans, Italy, and the Great Britain. Why does it always have to become a world war? Not sure, but it was not very fun, and of course, we won. And of course, it was a pretty fast war. It started in 1908 and it ended in 1911, but that was because Italy refused to surrender. And so I naval invaded them with every single troop I had, which was about 7 sacks of 20 to 90 troops, and I just was sick of them not surrendering, so I invaded every piece of their land. I could finally form Arabia as Oman, Yemen, and there we have it. I have formed Arabia as Oman. Thank you for watching. Bye.